During our Farm Basics time today, we're going to talk a little about roads. And the reason why we're talking about roads today is because farmers get a lot of the blame for bad roads around the country. And we want to talk today about why most of that is absolutely not true.
When you look at roads and bridges around the country, you'll a lot of times see load limits. There'll be weight limits that you can have per axle or for total vehicle weight as you travel down those roads. Now, you may notice those signs often come up and go down. And you're like, wait a second, I didn't see that sign here last month, but it's there now. Well, in many parts of the country, there are spring load limits. So in the spring, as the ground is thawing out, the county or the township or even the state may put some load limits on certain roads.
Okay, so the first enemy of roads is water. We talk about that all the time. The second enemy of roads is frost, and that's where Darren was going with the frost coming out of the ground. And I can only imagine you already know how bad this frost can be if you're in the northern part of the United States. That is an enormous enemy of roads. So again, we're talking about this today because farmers get the blame all the time for bad roads. But let's face it, if there was no frost out there, the roads would be a lot better.
Well, they certainly would. And you think about this time of year, you'll see a lot of seed delivery trucks, for example, running right now before these load limits come on in certain areas because they know, hey, I've got a heavy truck, I have seed that has to get to the farm. And yeah, in many cases, it may be a couple of months away or more before they're going to be planting that seed. But in the meantime, load limits come on and it limits some of the side roads that these trucks may want to come on to deliver product.
All right, so frost is a big problem for roads, but what I always tell people is the number one enemy of roads is water. Water, when it's left to go wherever it wants to go, will cause tremendous issues with roads. And I just think about all the roads I drive every year. Almost any time there's a spot in a road that's bad, it's because of water in that area. So if, just for example, you take a look at a new interstate highway being built today, what they'll typically do is they'll run tile lines on both sides of the road to catch that water, keep the water table down, and take the water where they want it to go. Drop the water into a creek or a river, something like that, so it isn't just randomly seeping below the road. And I bring this up all the time to townships, to counties, even to state highway departments to say, look, you need to promote tiling with your farmers, especially when the farmer wants to tile anywhere near your road. Because when the farmer tiles near your road, it lowers the water table there, it forces the water to go where you and the farmer both want it to go, and now your road's going to be in a lot better shape.
You know, Brian, I think it's a hole in our educational system in the United States that we don't really talk about water movement below the ground. We just look at rivers and streams and lakes and oceans and this kind of thing. But water is there underneath the ground and it is moving. And that's something that we do need to be aware of, especially when it comes to roads.
Well, once again, I realize farmers a lot of times with their big trucks, just like we run on our farm, get the blame for bad roads, but absolutely that is not the number one cause of bad roads in the country. Number one is water, number two is frost.
Well, our weed of the week certainly isn't going to hurt your road, but you may not want it growing out in your crop field. We'll show you what this weed is later in the show.